Okay, I think we are live. Hello, everybody. Oh, something's going on. Am I live? Yes. Okay, perfect. Live in the group. Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Hope everybody's doing well on this great summer day. Today, the 21st of June, the first actual day of summer. So it's pretty exciting. There's always a lot of really good strong energy on the summer solstice. So I would like to just extend all my love to all of you here in the group. And I hope you're continuing to find lots of value here with all the posts and the ebooks that I share and all of the things that I try to get out to all of you. A quick reminder about that though, I do communicate primarily in Facebook Messenger. So remember to check your messages and remember to look in your other folder as well. Because if we are not friends on Facebook, those messages that I'm sending to you are not going in to your primary message folder. They're just from people who are on your friends list. So there's a couple things you can do. You can check your other folder for message requests, which is where I will be if we're not friends, or you can just send me a friend request. That's probably the best way because I also post lots of resources on my own personal page, and then you'll have access to all of that as well. So let's be friends, right? That's the whole point of this whole community, right? Is for us to get to know each other and support each other along this journey. So, I'm Andrea O'Callaghan. I am a registered holistic nutritionist and I specialize in digestive health. I have a background in naturopathic medicine. I've been working in the field of wellness and natural medicine for a long time. And it really is a passion of mine. I'm here today to talk to you guys about a new upcoming training that I will be doing. It's coming your way on June 27th, so only in a week, less than a week actually now. This is the 21st. It's going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And gut health is really the reason I've created this group. That's my specialty. I have a personal history with digestive issues as well, which we're going to get into now in a couple of minutes. But I'm seeing more and more, successful, high achieving, busy. I hate to say stressed, but sometimes that's what we are, right? Because of the type of women that we are, stressed women who have suffered with gut issues. And it's really, part of our personality profile. When we are focused and determined and type A and achieving women and out there doing things and getting shit done, oftentimes our sympathetic nervous system is what is the dominant nervous system. This is kind of the stress response, right? This is that focus. This is that, type of nervous system domination that ends up coming along with the type of personality that we have. But the downside of that is that the parasympathetic nervous system then becomes not so dominant. And the parasympathetic nervous system is the nervous system branch that is responsible for our rest and digest. So rest is not something we do. And then digest is therefore also something that we don't do very well, and our gut begins to suffer. And then all of a sudden there comes the IBS diagnoses. There comes the constipation or the diarrhea. There comes the leaky gut and all of the things associated with that, right? So in, the years of my practice and working with women, I've begun to see more and more of this connection. And, that was part of the reason that I specialized in digestive health as well. But we will get into that. I don't want to put the cart before the horse. So I love this live session now to be as interactive as possible. So if you're here live, pop a hello in the comments. If you're watching the replay, pop a hello. Let me know you've seen it. Tell me where you're coming from. Let me know, what is your biggest gut health challenge? Do you relate to this whole idea of being a high achieving woman or maybe somewhat of a type A? And I say that with all the love because that's what I refer to myself as, of course. Like, I'm totally type A. Does that resonate with you? That kind of connection between the type of person that you are and how it's showing up for you in your body. So I'm super excited to announce this new masterclass that I'm doing. It's called The 5 Ways That I Achieve Freedom from Gas, Bloating, Indigestion, and Weight Gain without taking any meds, without going on a big old diet, or without giving up the foods I love. So this free training is coming up on Tuesday, June 27th. It's going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'm also offering an amazing show up bonus. It's valued at $200. It's called the Gut Healing Meal Plan. Also, on this training, I'm going to be diving into this new summer promo that I have just released a few days ago. It's called Get the Summer on Us. It's just started. It's the first time I've ever offered anything like this. So, I'm going to let you know a lot more about that coming up and definitely go into it on the live training. So, you don't want to miss it. Um, the link to register for my masterclass is going to be here in this post of this video. So to register, just click the link and the rest is super easy. Get yourself registered, and if you come live on Tuesday to my training, you will get as a gift for you this fantastic show up bonus. So I'm going to get into that. So today I want to talk a little bit about, the struggles that I had, first of all, with my gut health, all those symptoms of compromised digestion, dysbiosis, which is that imbalance in the microbiome, and the myriad, really, of symptoms that went along with it. For me, my digestive issues were present for as long as I can remember, right? I remember, even when I was a kid, I had major bowel irregularity, constipation, diarrhea, back and forth, and problems with that. I can literally remember being a kid and getting super excited because I was going to the mall with one of my girlfriends, right? And her mom was coming to pick me up, and we were going to go off to the mall and just, have some fun. I think it was probably at that age where I was just starting to be able to go to the mall by myself without a parent. But I remember them being downstairs in the foyer and the mom out in the driveway and my friend going, come on, come on. But I was stuck in the bathroom, right? I was excited. And for me, those emotions would get me running to the bathroom, right? So I was excited. I was stuck on the toilet. My friend was calling down to me, and I was thinking, God, this is really not normal. Why does nobody else seem to have to deal with these problems? So that's just an example of, as far back as I can remember, having this kind of excitable, digestive system and irritable bowel and the whole thing, right? And by the time I was an adult, I was bloated. I was gassy. At that point, my symptoms had kind of turned a bit, and I was mostly constipated at that point, but I was constantly uncomfortable, right? By the end of the day, I wouldn't be zipping up my jeans if I had them on. I'd actually gotten to the point where leggings was all I really wanted to live in. And I was also really tired, riddled with fatigue, very unmotivated, for type A personality who's always a go-getter and wants to be doing things. My motivation was really lagging by the time I had gotten into my early adulthood. I was so sick and tired of dragging myself through my activities with my kids at that point. I was saying no to my friends when they'd call or my family because I really didn't have a lot left to give for socialization. And I was definitely an absent partner in my marriage. And at that point, I had, big dreams about furthering my career and getting more into naturopathic medicine and nutrition, all of those things. But literally, as a mom of three little babies and feeling as gross as I felt, I really did not have that in my bandwidth, right? It was not even a remote possibility with how I was feeling at that time, right? So the lack of motivation, the constant fatigue, and then that brain fog that kept me in a daze all the time really prevented me from doing much more than, existing and just trying to make it through the day and be the best possible mom that I could be for these little kids. I don't know if any of you guys can relate to any of that, but please pop it in the comments. Tell me if it resonates with you, if you have a similar sort of experience. I'd love to know what kind of things that you've experienced. So, fast forward a little bit, I just remember to this one night, I was lying on the couch all by myself, kids were in bed. I was using ice cream to console myself because my husband had gone out, doing whatever he was doing. My friends hadn't even called, that month probably, to invite me out with them to do the things that we would normally do because they were just used to me saying no more and just not being into it, right? Not being up for it. And I kind of saw what my life had become, and it literally scared me. So I had that kind of aha moment, right? Where I said, I can't do this anymore. This is not what my life is going to be. And I promised myself that I was going to get some help. Because I had tried up until that point many times on my own to get a handle on my health, right? I had tried diets and supplements and tons of different natural methods, taking supplements. But all the while, I was guzzling Pepto-Bismol and chewing the Tums, right? And chewing the Gas X and doing all these things to try to cover up my symptoms. And in fact, all these things, even the natural things that I was trying, it actually ended up making me feel worse because they just added to those feelings, sorry, feelings of failure that I had had for never letting anything work, right? Like feeling defeated, feeling hopeless. It was really just, not the look I was going for, right? So, those are some of the mistakes that I made in searching for answers for myself. Maybe you've tried things like this too, right? Different diets. I had friends that would recommend, oh, go on this diet or do this. It worked for my aunt, or, things like that. So I tried tons of different diets. I had a long list of foods that were like on the no list. Don't eat that because you're going to get your symptom. No wheat, no dairy, loads of different vegetables that would, cause my symptoms to flare up, that would literally kill me. Lots of random things that would cause the symptoms to get worse. But all the while, I was still, craving sugar, especially in the nights. It was brutal. And I was literally like sitting on my hands to keep away from the sugar because, sugar is obviously on the no list too. When you've got gut issues, it definitely makes it worse. Tried all the supplements, whatever. There was no magic cure to be found, let me tell you. Some things did actually help my symptoms for a day or two, maybe even a week if I was lucky. But my body always kind of came back to that underlying state of dysfunction. I remember too, like skipping meals if I had to be somewhere, right? I remember trying to keep my growling stomach quiet during my kids' Christmas concert because, I knew if I had eaten before the show, I couldn't predict what was going to happen, right? I couldn't predict if I was going to need to escape because of like a bathroom emergency or, a bout of stinky, embarrassing gas when you're all packed in there on those chairs in the auditorium. Like, ooh, who wants to be that mom, who's like known for farting her way through a Christmas concert, or even worse, missing the whole thing and coming back to her empty seat at the end of the show, right? I didn't want to deal with it, so I just skipped the meal, right? I'd show up starving for dinner invitations if friends or family invited me somewhere or another social event. Because if I wanted to go out, I wanted to wear something that looked nice, not, big old moo that I was used to having to wear if I wanted to hide my bloated old body. I just had to be really careful, you know what I mean? And try to do these things that would minimize my symptoms. And if I was going out, obviously, then I have to think about being careful about what I ordered, what I could eat, how much I could eat, because I didn't want to, blow up and bust out of my outfit or need to run to the bathroom in a panic, right? Ordering whatever I wanted on the menu was just not an option, right? Feeling constantly jealous of my friends when they'd be like, oh, I shouldn't order the pasta. The carbonara looks so good. I shouldn't get that. It's so bad. But, oh, I'm going to go for it. Who cares? I've been really good all week. The friends, and I'd think, huh, lucky. I can't, that's not an option for me. The consequences are too big. I'm just not willing to go there, right? It'd be a recipe for disaster. So, besides all of these attempts that I've kind of, laid out for you there to stop my symptoms, I was doing, the 5 big things that I know now were really big mistakes, right? When you know better, you do better. So today I don't beat myself up about that stuff when I look back or when I talk about my past. It was just part of my journey in finding what worked for me. But the 5 things that I were doing were like, number 1, constantly Googling for solutions, like constantly searching, right? For things that could work or things that might make my symptoms worse even. Number 2, I was doing something that was unsustainable, right? Like the diets or giving up the foods, the long list of no foods, right? Those are unsustainable options, really. But I was trying to do those unsustainable things long term. Because they were unsustainable, I could never succeed with them and I was always failing, right? So that takes me to the 3rd one, always feeling guilty for not doing better than I was, right? Not finding that answer, not finding a solution, not succeeding at anything I was trying. Number 4, I was definitely not doing what works for me. I was like listening to them, right? All those well-meaning friends and especially family members who always thought that they knew the answer. But nothing was the answer for me, nothing that I tried. And number 5, the thing that I was doing, and that was a big no-no, was I wasn't learning from my mistakes, right? I would keep trying. I would keep that long list of no foods. It wasn't giving me the answer, but I wasn't doing anything different, So I wasn't learning from my mistakes. I kept trying the same things, hoping that it was going to give me a different result. And I've heard along the way since then that doing the same things and expecting different results is the definition of insanity. So I guess I was partially insane too, but like literally insane with the constant struggle, right? Literally. Let me know in the comments if any of those things, resonates with you, sounds familiar, or maybe it's even where you're at right now, right? Let me know. So do you want to know more about why the things that we're trying, that I tried, that maybe you're still trying, are not working to support your digestion? And do you want to know more about what really does work to support your gut function? So if you are interested in learning more about the things that really can work to help you and move you further along your path, then I really suggest that you sign up for my free masterclass that I talked to you about, the 5 ways that I achieve freedom from gas, bloating, indigestion, and weight gain without giving up any foods, without going on any diets, or without having to take meds, right? You want to break free of all of those things that are not helping, and you want to get back to living the life that you want, right? So on this free masterclass, this free web class that I'm offering, we're going to talk about, how to end your embarrassing digestive symptoms for good so that you can feel confident in all of your roles, whatever it is that you're doing, right? Whether it's, mom, grandma, CEO of a huge company, partner in a firm, or just an overall busy as hell lady with all of the plates spinning, right? And just trying to keep up. We're going to talk about a simple way for you to gain control over your body without having to take meds or go on complicated diets, which, by the way, never give lasting results anyway. We're going to talk about how you can remain a high achieving woman or get back to being, which was my case, right? Get back to being a high achieving woman, get back to your life, be able to meet all of those commitments that you have without the digestive discomfort. And we're going to talk about, did you know it's not the food's fault? Right? It's not the food's fault is one of my favorite catchphrases. I use it all the time. So we're going to get into what this means, why it's one of my favorite concepts and how it can apply to you. As a sneak peek into this little one, by the way, it just basically means that when you finally get rid of the underlying real problem, the food is not going to give you those terrible symptoms anymore. And I'm going to go into this on another live this week as well. Plus, there's a whole lot more things we're going to go into on the web class. It's jam-packed with lots of great information. You're going to love it. But there are a limited number of spaces available, so make sure you secure yours today. Like I said, the link to register is going to be in the comments of this post, so click the link, get yourself registered, right? I'm also going to be including a show-up bonus. It's valued at $200. It's called the Gut Healing Meal Plan. It is yours for free if you can come to the event. It's a complete meal plan, easy to follow, designed to really get that tummy feeling good again. Comes with shopping lists and prep guides. It's really not to be missed, and it is all yours if you show up. It's just my way of saying thanks for coming and thanks for joining me. Aside from that show up bonus, the Gut Healing Meal Plan, I am offering for the first time ever a new summer promo. So many of the women that I've been speaking to recently have kind of expressed a bit of hesitation in starting something new just as summer is getting going, right? I get it, right? Summer is super hectic. I feel you. I'm the same. So if you're feeling a little bit hesitant about jumping into something new, but if you are someone who feels like you want to get a little jump start on tackling your gut issues by the fall, then this is perfect for you. I'm super excited about this offer. It's a whole free summer, and you'll be able to get started on addressing those gut issues that you are currently suffering with, right? So maybe you can squeeze into one of those cute little summer dresses or a bathing suit and feel comfortable and confident before the summer is even halfway over. So if you want to learn all about how I address my awful digestive problems and find out how you can too, and grab the free $200 value, show-up bonus, that Gut Healing Meal Plan I just talked about, and learn about how you can get the whole summer on us, then register for the masterclass. Come and hear all about it firsthand, I'm super excited, to connect with you. It's going to be really interacting, going to be lots of fun. So just come on, bring all your questions, get ready to have your eyes opened to what is really going on in that digestive system of yours, right? You know, the one that seems to have a little mind of its own. So thank you so much for everyone for listening. I won't keep you anymore. You know, first day of summer, get out there, enjoy it. I hope everybody is well. If you have any questions or are in need of any type of support here in the group, please don't hesitate to reach out. That is what I am here for. I am trying to bring value to the group members, and I would love to be able to be a support to you. So check out the registration link in the comments. Register, even if you can't make it to the live training, but I recommend that you do because you get that show up bonus. But if you can't make it live to the training, if you register, you will get the replay automatically. So register either way. Okay? All right. I hope everybody has a fabulous day today, and I will see you in the group. Okay. Take care.